the order right there?
Yeah, amazing, perfect.
Good highlights. All right.
I never change anything.
And so you'll come back tomorrow then?
Of course, I'll be here.
Okay, fantastic. So with that promise, then let's get back to our top story of the day. The Los Angeles Lakers. They've been taking it slow with Luka Doncic this preseason. They're managing his workload after a long summer with Slovenia. Tonight, though, Luka Doncic is expected to hit the floor for the first time this preseason against Phoenix. And our Dave McMenamin is there ahead of tonight's matchup. So, Dave, how are the Lakers approaching the remainder of this preseason for Luka?
Yeah, Malika, we're finally going to get to see Luka Doncic in a Lakers uniform tonight, but his minutes will be limited, and the plan is to play him in one more preseason game. It stands to reason if he hasn't played up to this point, he's not going to play tomorrow night in the second night of a back-to-back against his former team, the Dallas Mavericks. The Lakers have a home preseason game against the Sacramento Kings on Friday. Expect to see Luka then. Also tonight, there's going to be no Gabe Vincent, no Jackson Hayes, no Jared Vanderbilt. The Lakers are really looking to manage this final week in terms of trying to put the team in the best position to be ready a week from tonight on opening night against the Golden State Warriors. So some lineup experimentation. You will see Marcus Smart making his preseason debut tonight with the Lakers. He's going to be in the 20 to 25 minute range. And again, still very much a work in progress for this group as they try to get their best product on the court opening night against the Warriors.
Hey, Dave, remember me? Your boy Perk. I want to ask you, look, have you talked to JJ? Because DeAndre Ayton is obviously playing, you know what I'm saying? What's his scheme of things for us with him and Luka Doncic? Pick and roll, we're going to see a lot of action out of that tonight.
Yeah, I mean, certainly you saw Ayton in the third preseason game over the weekend getting a lot of more opportunities in the short roll, in the pocket. He had 5 assists. He went 6 for 8 from the field. Many of those shot opportunities were coming, and the lights just went out on me, were coming right from that mid-range in the post. So obviously, we're going to see more of Ayton, and we got to see what he can do with the lob game with Luka Doncic attached to him.
Perk, you just taking my job now?
I just had to holler at my boy Dave.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate the time. Thank you so much. Boban, you and Luka were teammates. I just wasn't expecting that. That tickled me, Perk. I love it. Please host tomorrow. What are your expectations, though? We know Perk wants to see the connection that he just asked Dave about. What are your expectations for Luka this season?
I think expectation is really high, to be honest. And I know every big guy who play with Luka, he get paid after that for sure. And he play good, and like he's the guy who can help him to score, and of course he helped me a lot. That's why in these highlights I'm good.
Will you be, Perk, Dave said that, I mean, obviously now we get to see these highlights, which is just like, this is heartwarming.
Aww.
This is stuff that we want to see. Look at this.
Can they put like some sad music?
Yeah, maybe some hearts all around.
Some hearts all over.
The friendships that you've had. I mean, the one, Bobby and Toby, also one of our favorites here. I hate to turn from that to any sort of disappointment because that was so heartwarming, Perk. But Dave just said that we may not see Luka tomorrow because we're seeing him tonight, not playing on the second night of that back-to-back. Are you disappointed if you don't see him in the preseason against the Mavs?
No, not really. But I'm going to be disappointed if I don't see some lobs to DeAndre Ayton today because Dave did just say, you know, in game 3 for DeAndre Ayton in his preseason, he was great in the short roll. Well, Luka doesn't need him to be a short roller today. He needs him to be a dynamic roller. Excuse me.
For the last couple of years, we've been waiting for Luka to basically win the MVP.
Yeah.
This is a guy who we thought was going to be an MVP. Last year, he was injured. He was dealing with that injury for most of the season, and he got traded in the middle of it. This year, he is in excellent condition, and because LeBron's injury, he is going to start with the keys, with the expectation that he delivers on a major way. Now, I'm not saying that's going to be MVP, but I would like to see Luka back in the conversation for the MVP. And if he is, the Lakers are going to be able to do something this season. But there is no reason why he shouldn't be very dynamic for this team. It is now being constructed around him. LeBron is out. Even if when LeBron comes back, they're going to need him. Let's see Luka have a MVP level season. It is all set up for him.
You played with him. Is this the best, most athletic version of Luka that you've seen?
For me, he always was athletic. Just depends how tired he is. You know, like sometimes he's tired, sometimes he's less tired, but you know, like he play every game. He have the ball like 40 minutes, and it's all offense on him. What is like really like good, but he for sure is best shape right now. He look great.
Does Luka listen to the outside noise, the media, the critics, a guy like myself that has criticized him in the past and used that as motivation?
Maybe sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes when he feel down, he listens, but mostly he's focused on himself.
Perk, everyone listens to you.
I was just asking.
Everyone listens to you. But I appreciate that you self-identified there as a hater. So, Boban, first show in the books.
For sure in the book, check.
Check. Does that mean we get you back for the rest of the week?
Yes.
All right. That means we get Boban back for the rest of the week.
Basket. There's no reason to believe, especially with LeBron out, that Luka isn't getting off to a great offensive start to the season. And by the way, Austin Reeves has looked really good in the preseason so far. And when Austin Reeves played with Luka last year, a lot without LeBron, which happened a handful of times, he was very prolific. So I actually think the Lakers can survive this stretch. You have Luka and Austin Reeves leading the scoring. It will allow them to play two defenders in Jared Vanderbilt and Marcus Smart, who's also going to make his Laker debut tonight.
You know, my grandpa always used to tell me, you know what I'm saying, well, put that in your pipe and smoke it, right? Well, the tobacco is there for Luka. Is he going to put it in his pipe? Is he going to smoke it? Why do I say that? It's because not only was LeBron monitoring the Lakers this offseason, Luka was doing the same, right, Wendy? You talked about how is he going to sign the contract extension. The Lakers went out and made moves. Luka helped recruited two guys, Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah.
I'm starting tonight. I want to see the chemistry between Luka and DeAndre Ayton. We know that he loves a lob threat at the basket. They didn't have that consistently last year, and now you go out, you get a young guy in DeAndre Ayton who's just touching the surface of his prime, and now let's see how that match, how it's going to look together with him and Luka.
Yeah, watching the early fruits of that partnership is certainly something that's going to be interesting. You have a unique take on this, Boban, because you played with Luka Doncic.
Yes, I play with Luka Doncic, and he's beast. Not because he's my friend, I think he's really beast. I know I watched him this summer on Europe Championship, and how he play. Okay, full respect to all Slovenian players, but without him, like they will not be what they be, and they have a great game, and they almost win Europe Championship, Germany.
Boban, imagine if he had played for Serbia, as he could have. Boban played for Team Serbia. Imagine if Luka played for Serbia.
We'll be unstoppable. Jokic and him together, and Jokic become like lob threat too.
Well, that's what that unstoppable, that beast nature is what the Lakers are hoping that they're going to get out of Luka starting tonight.
Yeah, so Luka's in an interesting spot here. So the Lakers obviously have made some additions, as Perk mentioned this year with DeAndre Ayton, to try to make this year special. But they're sort of in the interim here because when you look at their roster, 8 of their players are free agents after this year. Luka signed his extension long term. As the Lakers try to figure out who their future is around Luka, I'm not so sure if any of these guys, probably Austin Reeves would be my number one. Even LeBron, I don't know where he's going to be next year. So part of this season, while the Lakers try to maximize what they've got, is who amongst these guys are core players alongside Luka for the medium haul?
But it might not be none of these guys, to be honest, and that's on Luka, right? You want to be eye candy. You want guys to want to come join and play alongside Luka Doncic, like guys wanted to play with a Steph or a LeBron, or, you know. And so at the end of the day, again, this is his team. You want to make sure that you still have, you know, the mindset, the focus, the discipline to say that, hey, I want to go over there and play with Luka. So, again, it's a test season for them. I get that part. But, again, it's a test around the league because all eyes are going to be on Luka Doncic.
Including LeBron James, right? Dave McMenamin has talked on this show before about how LeBron early in the season is going to be watching the way that this Lakers group looks. We know that the Lakers outscored opponents by 152 points when Luka was on and LeBron was off last year. That's what they are trying to build on, that team that finished third in the Western Conference. We did have some great action, though, on the court last night. Brian, I know you're not crazy about the preseason, but you got to be crazy about this. Victor put up his biggest game that we have seen thus far. The Spurs in Indy last night. This is how this one went down. Early in the first quarter, the Spurs on the fast break with Wemby leading the break. What?
This is what he can do. I mean, in all honesty, he probably should dribble a little bit less, but he's really good with the ball.
He's not listening to you here. Gets the steal, runs the floor, lobs it to Stephon Castle. Perk, we're used to seeing him catch the lob.
I know, but look, that's the beauty of having a guy that's 7'3", 7'5". Oh! KD and Shaq combined right there. God bless America.
A little later in the quarter, Wemby hits the step-back three.
This package of highlights is crazy.
Exactly. 10 now for Wemby. He's made his first 6 shots for anyone who is counting here. Harrison Barnes at the free throw line. Wemby just effortless putback.
Easy.
You could do that, right?
I can do that. I can try to do that.
19 first-half points for Victor Wembanyama. And as we mentioned earlier, there's not that many people that can do that flat-footed. Boban is one of them. Third quarter here, Spurs down 9. Barnes lobs it up to Wemby. Perky throws it down again.
I mean, that's what I love, though, the mixture, Malika, playing inside out, and this young man right here, Dylan Harper. Jesus Christ.
Wemby drives, finds Kelton Johnson for the bucket. He had 27 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists. Hey, Rick Carlisle, what did you think of Wemby in this game?
Look, I'm just glad we only see the guy twice a year. And I'd love to see him in the finals. You know, actually, it's gonna be 4 times a year this year because we play him again on Friday, which is great because he presents a different kind of challenge, and this is a great opportunity for our centers to have to navigate a different style of unicorn type player. I mean, that's a fact.
So Victor is just 21 years old, and his growth plates are still open. When he was a rookie, he was listed at a tiny 7'3". A couple years later, he's now listed as 7'5". And we've seen all types of measurements on Victor's true height. But Boban, you've met him, you've stood next to him. How tall are you officially?
I'm officially 7'4".
You're officially 7'4".
7'4", maybe something a little bit. But
and Wemby, were you looking down at him or looking up at him?
I was like, look like this. And I was like, no way. I know because on the paper, I was taller. You saw 7'3", I'm 7'4", and I was looking at him, I was like, no way, I'm taller than him.
That has to have not happened to you very many times in your life, because just to be clear, I'm wearing about 5-inch heels right now, so if we don't have to show the get closer there. Just to be clear, if we're taking shoes off here, that's the height that we're talking about. There's only a few players where that is the case here, Brian.
So look, he was listed at 7'3" as a rookie, but that was a lie. He was not 7'3". I believe he was actually about 7'5". He's now listed at 7'5". Boban, I think he might be approaching 7'7".
Well, look,
unofficially.
I mean, listen, with the orthotics, you know what I'm saying, the 2-pair of socks, the ankles tape, definitely could get in there because I'm 6'8", 6'9", but on the floor I was 7'1" because I used to boost myself up.
I was going to say, you were definitely listed at 7 foot. Let's just see one more time what that standing flat foot dunk would look like. And you're doing it on your tippy toes.
He's not even really working that hard.
You're doing it on your tippy toes. Before we rip down this rim here, this is what we're referring to, how he's able to just flat-footed do that.
That's what I do to my sons in the driveway. Lower the basket down, you know what I'm saying, daddy ball. But
Boban was doing something pretty similar.
But seriously, real talk, Boban was just holding onto the rim on his tippy toes. It is there. Victor can do it flat-footed. Boban's 7'4". That's my point. My point is I think he's about 7'7".
And this rim a little bit higher. No, I
And so we just wanted to show you exactly how difficult that is, or at least fear how many threes they're going to be putting up. So Giannis, he returned to action. He had 13 points. He grabbed 10 rebounds in his preseason debut. And the team continued to showcase their new offensive strategy, shoot a lot of threes. So the Bucks, they made 20 of 48 three-pointers. They had 9 different players attempt multiple threes in their win over the Chicago Bulls. Now, the Bucks, they led the league in three-point percentage last season, but their volume was 20th. So even with that low rate, Giannis and his gravity make the Bucks offense go, because over the last 5 seasons, no player has assisted on more threes than Giannis. So is that just a mirage in terms of threes, or is that going to be part of the Bucks' identity this season? Our Tim Legler caught up with Doc Rivers to discuss. Here they are in the Coach's Corner.
We're going to get into the film. We're going to look at a little bit of half-court sets. different options you can get off of basically the same action,
Yeah.
the same set. If you want to give us the play call, you can. We'll let this one play all the way through, and then we'll have multiple opportunities to stop it where you want to. But this is just tremendous ability. Get the ball from one side of the floor to the other, execute on the screens. A.J. Green comes off, one of your elite shooters, knocking down a shot. So to tell me what you're looking for in this action and your personnel and what the reads are.
I'm a big believer in multiple action. In our league, the single action guys, the ISO guy, I think that's going away from our league. At least I hope so. All right.
Yeah.
So regular, this is just a pistol. Usually AJ Green would just come off of a handoff from Scoot, and then Giannis would clean him up in the pick. But on this one, the first thing we actually look for, you see this back cut? I actually think he could have thrown it. He didn't like the window. But by him doing that, now you see Miles Turner. He's already in help. So that's number one. We've already sowed. The second part of this running is this pick and roll right here. Stop it. Now, when Giannis rolls, you see Halliburton pointing, that's the weak side help. They think the action's on that side, but the action has always been for A.J. Green, running. And now he can't get back, and Bobby cleans him up.
Now, this is nice. I would have liked to have a set like this run for me, Doc. I'm telling you right now.
Well, you remember when I was with the Clippers, we had J.J. Redick.
Yeah.
And we used to run every first play of the game for J.J. Now,
He was one of the best first court players I ever saw.
of all time.
Yeah.
And I would get players before the game. J.J.'s not scoring the first play, and we would laugh at it. But having two guys that can do that makes your offense. I mean, when A.J. Green and Gary Trent on the floor at the same time, having two elite shooters, it's huge for
Well,
your
I can see the excitement in your eyes. You're excited about some of the retooling of the roster. You're excited because Giannis still looks the way he does. Excited to see this action this year. Appreciate the time. Best of luck, and I hope you guys stay healthy.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Tim Legler.